Welcome back to another painting session. Today I'm going to be doing a remake of a pretty old painting. Give me a moment, just get my watch off and I'll go get the painting for you. While I do that, you could see the orientation of the cans I have over there. So that's what I plan to do. Let me get the painting. Alright. Here we are. This was the old painting. I believe I called it Noir Sunset. Might keep the name, might have a better name than whatever that was. Some of the things I tried to do did pull off, like galaxies over here, but some did not. Like the planets. Planets are a big one, especially that one over there. Pretty bad. Along with the blending of colors over there, stars, whatnot. So I do plan to improve upon it significantly with this painting. Yeah, I'm going to be adding some things like changing around or shifting around the position of the planets. I'm doing different textures using different tape, adding a black hole, what that is. I'm going to make it a little tuned down or tuned up in red to make it a bit very dark crimson. It will just be a little bit. I'll have undertone, and then I'll put on the black. It'll be the first thing I'll do. I might wait after that, like a few seconds, and then put on this little cap, which is going to go over the black hole. It's going to be pretty small. Yeah, I have my divider over here to split up tape and the colored and the non-colored areas, but it shouldn't prove that much of an issue, or hoping anyway. I also have a new color, more of a cherry red. Hopefully it's a bit lighter than this apple red. It seems to be, but I'll only be using it in certain circumstances as the pressure is too high that it pops the caps. That's why I haven't already popped a cap here, so I just use it like to fill in planet's space. I'm not going to do any detail work with it. As you can see, just me spraying over there made spots all over there. Those shouldn't be much of an issue. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I'll do planets first. I'll be a bit slow and go on with it, and then wait, stencils, and then do the background, which I'm going to be a bit more thorough with. I plan to do the same or almost the same galaxy textures. If I don't want to do that later on, I'll just do sprays of white. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Nothing crazy, nothing wild. I'm not going to do anything new. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Pretty chill video, nothing crazy. If you haven't seen the panel paintings and revisions of the panels, I do highly advise you see that. I'm pretty proud with most of them, and I think it's a good leap forward of what I plan to do in the future, especially with the past few videos with the thumbnails and whatnot. I'm going to do the same thing with this one. Anything else? No, that's pretty much it. I'm going to start the time lapse now. Start what you're looking forward to. Time lapse time. And this is the finished product. Well, before I say anything in detail, the broad issue with this is there's a lot of things good with it, but some things that are a bit nitpicky that that kind of ruin it for me. Maybe you don't see it, but of course I've made it, and I always have to see the issue with my own work. But I'll show them out for you. I think there's 3 of note. I know there's gonna be a very nitpicky, but still, these 2 sets of comets, they're not in the same direction. I don't like that. I usually like to keep in the same direction, but even if I don't, they are far apart enough so you don't really tell or don't really care. This, I made a mistake of making it way too close, so the detail and trajectory is much more obvious. The other one is the peel right here. It's a bit less of an issue, but still, it's not enough shade. And the biggest one is the black hole. It was an issue throughout, and the space around it, of course, it is what I count as the black hole area. So all these little dents, craters, little ring around that I put the lid on, and then the nozzle is what I eventually put on. I put way too much black paint, so it turned in, it became too thick to really lay down a good stencil, lid, what have you. It doesn't really matter. It would make it difficult for me to put on the cap without it sticking a lot, and that's what it did. And it brought up a lot of black with it, like over here. And then other paints came in. So and while I was waiting to dry, I was pressing down around it, not thinking it would come up after the painting, but it did. I did that just to see how far in the process, the drying process, the black paint was. And every time I did anything, it wound up being a crater. So that's the biggest issue. There's also this, it peeled the paper. So yeah, I mean, my stencil also didn't really come off that well. A bit darker. And this bled through with this little bit right there. But this is good. There's one thing from the other painting, I'm not going to put it down because this is all still wet. But the middle part here, there were, I can't really describe it. I would just bring it over here. This. So I had, of course, thicker tape. This was just to mark the middle. But I had it here and here. So it overlapped this tape and vice versa over here. So you didn't really have a peak in between these. You just had little bleed throughs, which ain't the best. It was big. For me, bit of a cardboard cutout, which is a guard against any paintings I put on and the grill below it. But yeah, that's pretty much it in terms of blemishes. I'll get on the table, not the table, the chair. So I have this view. Again, it's much more vibrant in person, and it has more detail than what my phone can capture. But so yeah, so that's why I have the thumbnail as it is, to make it as realistic as possible of how you'd actually see it. So anything else? No, that's pretty much it. I plan to do something else after this, similar to my color consumption of color, I believe I called it. That painting, it'll be similar to that, in that there's separate panels that make up a big old piece. So yeah, hopefully you look forward to that. I will. And that is pretty much it. I hope you have enjoyed the process and product of this painting session as much as I have. And I hope you stay tuned to that next painting project I just told you about. And until that time, I'll see you there. Bye-bye.